Hey guys, Parfex here, and today we are going over the best PVE builds in New World. All right, let's get started. All right, as you could see here, I am on a website where we'll put the link in the description down below to a great resource if you're looking to really min-max your PVE builds. You can see here we have it broken down from home, which is just the main screen. We have some info, and then we have the 4 different types of dungeons we have in the game currently. You can see here they have links to their Discord. They have a YouTube channel where they do some pretty crazy runs. So let's get into it. So here is just a very basic overview of what you're going to see. We have everything from damage types on mobs. We have weapons, and basically you see here 2 perk bis is highlighted. So anything you see that is highlighted in this like beige-ish color is going to be essentially what you need. And there's some important consumables. You can see here DPS buffs and coatings, incense, honing stones, trophies, and then some attribute foods, etc. So we're going to go ahead and jump into it. Most of this is pretty self-explanatory, but feel free to go down here and look at it. They have some great ways of getting some specific gear. They have what the buffs look like on your screen. It is a great resource if you are looking for anything PvE. So let's get into the video here. So we have Ancients. So Ancients we have is essentially right now just Laz. So we're going to look at these. Now, we're going to start going over these, but we're going to get pretty monotonous if I would go over every single one, because a lot of them are exactly the same. But we're going to look here and you're going to see a couple different trends. So the highest damaging weapons in the game, as you're going to see here, are going to be Rapier and Hatchet. And then you're going to have for the best utility is going to be normally the Ice Gauntlet and then Great Axe. So let's get into it. So we have here for most DPS slash utility in Ancients, it's Rapier and Ice Gauntlet. And as you can see here, for 2 best perks would be Ancient Bane Vicious slash Rogue. And then we have Keenly Empowered. And then we are running a Topaz Gem in the Rapier. And with the Ice Gauntlet, we are running Ancient Bane and then whatever. And we are running an Opal. The abilities on the Rapier, these are going to be very standard. Every time we see Rapier, we're going to see Evade, Flurry, and Tondo. And then for Ice Gauntlet and Ancient dungeons, we're seeing Ice Spike, Ice Shower, Ice Storm. This is going to change a little bit down the road, but it is, I think this is the only place we actually see Ice Spike. So when it comes to armor perks, the 3 we really need are Leeching Flurry, Omnidirectional Invade, and then Keen Tondo. And then after that, we have Unending Thaw, Ice Refreshed, and Deadly Frost. Our attributes we will be running will be 310 Dex and 200 Intelligence. You might be like, why are we running Ice Gauntlet with only 200 Intelligence? Because the Rapier just does that much damage that we don't really need it. We are really relying on the Rapier for that absolutely crazy single target damage. And then for what most people consider, or what most people run in Laz, which is Warhammer Great Axe, we're running an Opal in our Warhammer, and this is something that a lot of people I think get wrong. They put a Topaz in here, which is actually incorrect. Because if we go back to our info sheet, and we look here at Ancients, our strike damage is 20%, lightning is 30%. And it'd be like, Parfax, that's obviously bigger, which I understand, but at 20%, so we got to take 50% of our damage, we're going to transport it to lightning. So instead of 10% difference, we're only getting 5 because we're only converting 50% of our actual damage in there. And then we're not getting bonuses from things like if you have any strike damage or anything that boosts your physical damage, you actually don't get it when you swap it to lightning. So that is why the Opal is actually better. So we are running Ancient Bane, Enchanted or Trenchant Strikes, and then Keenly Empowered. And then, like I said, an Opal, we're running Armor Breaker or Wrecking Ball. This is essentially if you have another Armor Breaker, you don't need another. And then Wrecking Ball, Shockwave, and Mighty Gavel. And then for Great Axe, we are putting a Topaz because Ancients are strong against slashing. We're running Ancient Bane, Thwarting Strikes, and then anything. And then Reap and Execute. And then Gravity Well, Maelstrom. So essentially you run Gravity, Maelstrom, and then you pick either Reap or Execute. Reap if you want to gather them up a little bit tighter, or Execute for a little bit extra damage. And then for our armor perks, we want, of course, Sundering Shockwave is the best, Refreshing Mighty Gavel, and then Insatiable Gravity Well. And here we are going 500 Strength, and for some reason, 10 Con. And then for most DPS plus CC, you have Rapier Spear. Of course, the Rapier does crazy damage. And then you have Spear for that extra Perforate for tankiness. And we have Sweep and Skewer for the CC. And then, of course, a Bane and Vicious Rogue. And then if you go this route, you want Leeching Flurry, Fortifying Perforate, Omnidirectional Invade, and Keen Tondo are your big ones. Now, when it comes to healing, you can look at them down here. They are all pretty self-explanatory. We have for AoE heals, we're running Blessed, Refreshing Move, and Refreshing with Orb of Protection, Sacred Ground, Beacon. And we are running Diamond, and they are having a Void Gauntlet for every healer as the back bar. You have Orb of Decay, Putrefying Scream, and Oblivion. If you're going for AoE heals plus DPS, which is going to be the biggest damaging, basically group you can have, or if you're really trying to push min-max, this is going to be the ability you're probably going to run, which is Protection, Sacred Ground, Beacon, of course. Then we have Orb of Decay, Void Blade, and Oblivion. That Void Blade is going to give us a nice extra chunk of damage. You see here, they're running 410 Focus and 100 Constitution and all of these healing builds. Then we have Pocket Heals and Pocket Heals DPS, which again, the difference is here, they are running Orb of Decay, Void Blade, and Oblivion, and Blessed, Refreshing Move, Ancient Bane on your Void Gauntlet, and then Blessed, Refreshing Move, Refreshing is just your Abyss Life Staff is what they believe. So next we'll go to Angry Earth, and here's when you're going to start seeing the Hatchet really start to shine from here on out. So we have, for most DPS, Hatchet Spear. This has been pretty well known. We have Angry Earthbane, Rogue, Refreshing Move, like always. And then we are running Berserk, Rending Throw, Raging Torrent. And then for Spear, we're running Perforate, Sweep, and Skewer. And for armor perks, we must need Refreshing Torrent to get that cooldown down. And then we have Fortifying Perforate for the Survive ability. And then from there, we go Enfeebling Skewer, Rending Throw, Keen Berserk, and Bleeding Sweep. Then we are going 260 Strength and 250 Dex. Utility plus DPS, we have Hatchet Great Axe, and we are running Opal, and I didn't say, but we are running a Ruby in our Spear over here. We're running Opal over here. We have Angry Earthbane, Rogue, Keenly Empowered, and then we have, again, the 3 normal for Hatchet. We're not going to go over these anymore, but Berserk, Rending Throw, and Raging Torrent. Then for Great Axe, we are running Bane and Thwarting Strikes, and we have Gravity Well, Maelstrom, and again, Reap/Execute. And the 2 perks we really must need are Torrent and Gravity Well, and then you can go from there. And we are still running 260, 250. And then we're going to see utility DPS, which you're going to see this a lot, is the Ice Gauntlet here. And we're running Opal in both with Angry Earthbane, Rogue, Keenly Empowered, and then Angry Earthbane, and then whatever. And then we have Entomb, Ice Shower, Ice Storm. And then Refreshing Torrent's the must-have skill here. Next, we're going to go over Corrupted. And here, it's really great because they have it suited for each dungeon, in their opinion. We have Survivable DPS for Depths. We have Best for Tempest and Best for Dynasty. So for the Depths, we are running Hatchet Spear. And again, very standard setup for both of these. And again, standard setup for armor perks and 260, 250. Rapier Spear, we are running for the Tempest. And it is Corrupted Bane, Rogue, and then whatever. And then Evade, Flurry, Tondo. And we are running Sapphires in both our Spear and Rapier. And we're running Sapphire, Opal, and Hatchet Spear. And in this build, we're going to go 50 Strength for that new 50 Strength passive. And then we are running the 315 Dex and 150 Int. And for the armor perks, Leeching Flurry, Fortifying Perforate, and Omnidirectional Invade are your 3 biggest ones. And then for Dynasty, they suggest Rapier Ice Gauntlet and a very standard setup for both of these. Leeching Flurry, Omnidirectional Invade are your 2 must-have armor perks. And then again, we are running 310 Dex and 200 Int. Last, but certainly not least, we have Lost Dungeons. This is the newest Barnacles and Black Powder. And here's what we have. So we have, again, Hatchet Ice Gauntlet for conditional highest DPS. And we have an aquamarine in the hatchet and the opal in the ice gauntlet. This is actually going to give us a nice little bit of damage because we are running the aquamarine here. And we have a very standard setup here, except for we want Lost Bane and Refreshing Move. Then we have Ice Shower, Ice Storm, and Ice Pylon. So the Ice Gauntlet is really the only skill here that really changes your DPS setup depending on the dungeon. Then we have, and this is mainly because Ice actually does damage in this against lost enemies, which is the reason why we want Ice Pylon. And we have enough like AoE with Ice Storm and Ice Shower mixed with the hatchet. So we want Ice Pylon for that Ice Pylon burst and a little bit extra just single target there. We have armor perks here. We just need Refreshing Torrent. And then we are running 210 strength, 250 dex, and 50 int. You might be like, 50 int, that's absolutely nothing. And you're right, there's not a whole lot here. But it's going to give us a little bit of extra damage. But realistically, hatchet's just so OP that we're just going to stay on the hatchet. So next we have conditional highest DPS, which is Warhammer Ice Gauntlet. And we have Lost Bane, Trenchant Strikes, Enchanted, Keenly Empowered. And then for abilities, we have Armor Breaker / Wrecking Ball, Mighty Gavel, Shockwave. And then we were running an Aquamarine there. And then we were running an Opal with the normal setup, at least for this dungeon, which is Pylon, Shower, Storm. And here we want Shockwave and Gavel are our 2 must-have perks. And we are running 500 strength and 10 int. I don't know why we're not running 505 instead of, 5 here, but it really doesn't matter. And then consistent highest DPS plus utility is Hatchet, Great Axe, and very normal setup with 260 strength and 250 dex. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Like always, this is a little bit different, but I was recently able to see this website. Somebody had brought it up in one of the Discords that I was in, so I figured I would give it to you guys to kind of help you out. Now, just because something's the highest damage, like for instance in Angry Earth, Spear Hatchet, you don't want all Spear Hatchets. If you go back and even look at their runs, you do need some Great Axes to group them up. But this is just a very good note. You want to be running one of these builds if you're really looking to push the DPS to its highest level. And of course, make sure you're running your honing stones, your coatings, get your, your trophies out there. So make sure you guys get out here, watch this video, support them if you like their content. They haven't put out a video in a little while, but give them some support. Maybe they'll put out another video. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, like always, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.